Hello, good afternoon, lovely viewers, and welcome to another episode of Everyday Psychology here on Truth TV. I'm excited that we are in our new studio. It's a new month, the month of March, the month of Ghana, and thank you for being a part of this program. Last 2 or 3 weeks, we have been looking at positive psychology and how we can live happier lives. Well, for this week and for next week, what we will be doing is to be looking at what we call cognitive development or cognitive development theory by the celebrated psychologist Jean Piaget. Nia sa na wotwi ene na wotwi edi yanim yebehwe ene nia ye friend no profokasem cognitive development senia onipa adwen etumi enyi efimufram a edeko empanyin emu. And so stick and stay with us. My name is Alex Jari and we will be back after this break.
Do you have an interest and passion for the media? You see yourself excelling in the field of journalism and multimedia, but do not have enough time and funds to pursue courses in those fields. That is why the Heritage Christian College Media Training School was set up to give you an opportunity to train yourself for 4 months and get a 2-month opportunity for attachment at Truth TV. With our state-of-the-art studio and newsroom, experienced friendly lecturers in the field of journalism and conducive lecture halls, we offer students the chance to learn on the job with both practical and theoretical lessons. We offer courses in journalism such as newscasting, show hosting, voice training and phonetics, voiceovers, report filing, and many others. In the field of multimedia, we offer courses in cinematography, video editing, animations, studio management, master control room management, light and sound engineering, set design, graphic design, photography, and social media management. We offer intensive 1-week courses in communication essentials for professionals. We have both weekday and weekend courses. We are located behind Amasaman Stadium in Accra. Heritage Christian College Media Training School gives you all the tips you need to succeed in the world of communication.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to Everyday Psychology here on Truth TV. Thank you for staying with us. As you can see on the screen, we have a picture of a man, and the name of this man is Jean Piaget. Nyayehu ne infoni ewo sa TV ewo mensa ebenkumisui eye psychologist kunini e friend Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist born in Switzerland. Now he lived around 1930s thereabout, where he proposed what has become known as Jean Piaget's cognitive development theory. Nia urei chireye eye senia onipa na dwen enyi efimoframu ede eko empanyimu. So this is what we will be discussing for this week and for today. Now, according to Jean Piaget, Jean Piaget actually say ansa na onipa bia na dwen ebenyia edu mpanyin fiso na wetimi adwen eyie no for every adult to or every person to attain adult intelligence. This person must go through 4 stages of what he calls cognitive development. Yewo anamong bese ananga ewo se onipa bia efemu efina woyemu. When a person is born, go through the 4 stages of cognitive development. And as you can see on the screen there, now there is the first stage that occurs between the day of birth to age 2, that is 0 to 2 years, called the sensory motor stage. Then also there is, after that, from 2 years to 7 years, we have what we call the pre-operational stage. After the pre-operational stage, between ages 7 to 11, we have the concrete operational stage, and the final stage is from ages 12 upwards. Now you can say we share yewa bufra efi bra ye wo no ekosi bra obedi mfi abienga sa fa no owura yi efre no sensory motor stage na efi ho eno ye wo ne ye fre no pre-operational stage eno ye bra onipa no edi be mfi abien erko mfi eson no afi ye wo ne fre no concrete operational stage eho eye mfi eson erko mfi edubako na se onipa nyi efi mfi dumien ekwa eho na ye fre ho formal operational stage enti sa emia ahoro ananyi na obi owura piaje kyerese onipa afemu na ema na dwen enyi na eno na ye behwe na yate ye mofra ye ne won wofie won a ye kye won ade ase epi. Now the question one may ask is, well, is this not common sense? Can't we say that ordinarily a child would not think like an adult and so we can just observe it? Well, what we have observed is that lots of people, children are miniature adults. Okay, but because of the size of their bodies. That's what that yes France what be doing say senior impayfo adwen. And so you should move to character said this is not exactly how children think. And so this brought about near friend of cognitive development. Senior nipa adwen any effort. And unti near you and it say senior mufra adwen how children think and reason is very different from how adults think and adult reason. Senior mufra adwen efano and yes Sarah and I'm penny a drain effort. And we attain full human intelligence after reaching the 4th stage of cognitive development. Near we are Piaget trying na yisuane say onipa adwini enyi pa ye bra onipa no we and among eto so anan no. And so we'll be looking at the first 2 stages for today. And then ayebehwe ene anamong ebien edikan ewo nipa adwene munyin no eho na ye ebehwe na sebe aya impanyin se taka se ye keka fununu na ye keka amadam pan ye kan ye ken ene ye ken nyina ne se ye beti ye mofra ene won a ye ne won eti ase se wo school mu se wo afimu na yehuseni aye ne won besan afa na yaboa awon wonyim. So we want to understand our children, whether they are in schools, in churches, in their homes, so that we can relate well with them and understand them and help them develop better. We don't become stressed out because they are not doing certain things we expect them to be able to do. Now, on the screen there, you see a very handsome child, very beautiful child. Now, from this you can't tell whether it's male or female, but a very beautiful child with a very lovely smile. Now, this child would most likely not be beyond 2 years, and so for children around this age, in the sensory motor stage, what are the things that go on in their mind so that we can understand them and help them in this stage? Now, this stage is called the sensory motor stage, as we can see there. By the word sensory, we are referring to the use of the 5 senses. So, at this stage in the life of children, Kunini Jean Piaget fait no sensory motor stage. Bia wode nia wohu nia wote nia wode wonsaka nia wohua eye adwuma pii. So children really, the brains of children are stimulated at this stage to consider lots of their senses, by touch, by sight, by hearing, by smelling, by tasting. this is where we see them engage a lot in these things. Now they start using their reflexes. Now once what actually one sign at the kika and they develop habits at the stage. Children start developing habits and using their reflexes at this stage. And so be sure sabi ni ebe won se mo frata de won sashe wan pi mo frata ye nyeme bi a eda suban bi edi sabi from 0 to 2 years they begin developing their habits and reflexes. Around 4 months or 4 months thereabout, they become aware that there are things outside their own bodies. If they say abosomia nan erikono, mufano mu say woye nipa wo niema aside one ankasa. There are things outside their body, so they begin to take things that are outside them. And as we have already said, at this stage they like to taste, they like to listen, they like to watch, they like to smell. It is very not only a no shade, say TV, no TV ni din sa na wa dwen eye dwuma. Se bibia abofra no benya no, abofra no pese ode ekona nan. This is how children between the ages between 0 and 2 years behave, or how they act out on a daily basis. Now at this stage, as we can see the child there, the child is beginning to crawl on the TV on my left. Children in the sensory motor stage begin to explore their environment. One environment efa. So obi to me atenase, obi timi area, obi to me anantu nampo, obi timi etumika. So they begin to crawl, they begin to sit first, they begin to crawl, to walk, and they begin to run as well. They like exploring their environment, using their senses and their motor abilities. Senya obi timi atenetene, wonsa ene won name afa. Na bra warrior na watina say na wanantil na wutumika no. All these increase in physical activities help and leads to the development of their brain. It leads to what we call cognitive development. Inti apofrano oritina say warrior original for wanantil na wutumika no. So they become cognitively active, or they develop their cognition as they engage in a lot of physical activities. One thing that is interesting about children at this stage is this: they develop what Piaget calls object permanence. Object permanence. At this stage of the life of children, they develop what is called object permanence. It is the concept that before around 1 year or 1.5, getting to 2, sometimes if a child has something and you take it from that child and hide it somewhere behind you or anywhere, the child does not have the consciousness that the thing still exists. So assuming that the child was playing with a teddy bear and you took the teddy bear away from the child, up to a certain age, from 0 to 1.5 thereabout, the child may not see that, may think that that object is not there. But at the end of the sensory motor stage, at the end of 2 years, the child is most likely to see that although you have taken the teddy bear away, the teddy bear is still existing. Say only abofra ready a gloria na abofra kura bibi. Na se wo fa efi abofra ne ehwa. Ansa na abofra ne bedi mfie bienu. Se wo fa wafa ɛyɛ ne sɛ ade no ayera nanso ɔrekɔdi mfeɛ abien ɛkɔ afa no now this child is able to see abɔfra yi tumi hu sɛ ade no a ɔfaeɛ no yɛsie na wode asie na mmom ade no ankasa ɛnyeraeɛ. So this is what is termed as object permanence. They believe and they understand that the object which they do not see still exists is permanent. And so you realize that if you take away a toy, teddy bear or anything, they begin to cry. So what for bibi a won di agori na won hu bi a wo fi asisu e kire say wo jetum say ade ne e wo ho na mu asie na wo de asie. Another additional achievement at this stage is what Piaget called that they become egocentric. Sabri no mo franu fiase edwin wan kasa eho. Now what Piaget meant by egocentric is this. They see the world primarily from their own point of view. Senya what wiase asefa no sa ena wo mu eye won say senya wo hu niema na we so obi ahu niema sa. Inti anya wo say children will begin to cry when they are holding a knife and we take the knife away from them. Because as far as they are concerned, the knife is okay for them. They don't understand why you take the knife away from them. They don't understand why they have to share with anyone, even though what they may be having may not be theirs. Inti mofra edwin wan kasa fm imputo. Si wokra bibi na se bibi ni ebeha wom, ebepura wom. Na ugye a obesu esu. Nia ema eba ne sa ne se sabri wo hu wiase no senya won kuto ehunu fa. They see the world only from their point of view, and therefore Piaget says they become egocentric. And then finally, before we move on to the next stage, one thing that they do is that they also follow a certain behavior pattern in order to make or get their demands met. Now, the children at this age, according to Jean Piaget, are able to see that if I do A, B, C, D, I'm likely to get F. So they become somewhat consistent with a certain behavioral pattern to get a certain results that they desire. So consistently, mufra no be fiase aye niema bi a oje di says we sa niema na ebema won enyamuai bi ana bibi a ohwehwe. Nji se abofra no nim se osu ana ne maami ebeti na abofra no ebefiase asu se obibi a obefiase asu. So nim se odan ne ho ebutu na obetimi asifam afi empaswa sa ana mofra no ebeye sa. Asa ne medi kankan no impanyi se yerikeke fun no sebe ne yakeka amadam pan yerikan ayeka amampanyifu a eno mfrei ete yehu senya won enyi wadwene munyi ete nyatawase to be able to understand their cognitive development and know how best to handle or relate with them. We'll pause here for a commercial break, and when we come back, we will be looking at the second stage rather, called the pre-operational stage. Hereby, you or fight sweating ya drink in a different pre-operational stage. Please stay with us, we'll be right back.
St. Carol's School of Nursing is accredited by the National Accreditation Board, approved by the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and affiliated to KNUST. They have fantastic facilities and you would be amazed. We have a physical library with an e-library that is combined. You have free Wi-Fi to explore. The possibilities are endless with our library. We also have a demonstration lab which also has all the skills that you need to practice in-house available. We also have a demo ward executive present at all times to be of help and to be of support to you. Our classrooms are so nice and comfortable.
It's the best private school offering BSc nursing and also about to offer the BSc midwifery.
After school, I was able to do my national service and I've been posted successfully.
We are located off the Malam Kasua Road on the Professor John Evans Atta Mills bypass from the old barrier in a place called Aplaku Ayalulu near the Bojo Beach. Call us on 0244 620 960. Dare to Care BNS. We share peace and excellence.
Through St. Carol.
Thank you for staying with us, and welcome back on Everyday Psychology here on Truth TV with me, Alex Ejari. Before we went for the break, we were looking at the sensory motor stage of cognitive development. And sa na yerikuti ya humeni di gwa kakrani abano na yerishwe ni a okunini Jean Piaget, a friend of sensory motor stage of cognitive development. Bia emofrano edenia wohu wote nya wohia na wonam sa kwan no so ema wadwen enyin sa ho ana yehwe. We have said that they develop that part between 0 to 2 years. Now, as you can see on the screen on my left, you have the pre-operational stage. Nya yereko so na yehwe eye nya yehwe the pre-operational stage. Now, this stage takes the years between 2 to 7 years. Bia Yerika Wansimi, Aya Yetay, Bia Amofra Edi, Efibeye Infi Ebien, Ere Echo Infi a song. So it occurs between 2 to 7 years. And his Sabye Deng Nayamofra Eye, Jidi say Yamofra Wolf. And as you can see on the screen, there are children, preferably or most likely not, of course, beyond 7 years, as you can see them seated there excitedly listen to someone. And as I keep on saying, we are learning so we know how to understand our children better, whether in church, in schools, in wherever we find them, so we can help them grow and develop better. In this stage, we are one pre-operational stage. Never before why now when we see these things, we understand them and help them grow better. So you will say me ya yet you want see ni abwa won ama won enyi awon enyi. Now, what happens is that from 2 to 7 years, children begin to develop language. Amufra efiase ekasa brea where the infi ebien ediko infi eson. One of the key development is language acquisition. Now, at this point in time, they understand and engage in what is called role play. Sa brea amufra edu sa infi ebien eriko infi eson. Wo fiase ye ne friend role play say owo hwa eye ne say oye lawyer obekasa aye ne ho senia oye obi obekasa aye ne ho senia oye ne maame oye ne papa enti so obehwe a say uni ho a mofa ne ye senia nka wo ho a mofa ne ebu wo ye senia ya wo ye no enti akamfo pen say sabofa nso ni a na ose. This is teach in psychology because the children begin to learn what they see around and role play those things they learn. So the girls among them begin to behave like mothers, will carry babies on their back, will pretend they are cooking in the kitchen. The boys will begin to behave like they are men, they are come back from work, they are teachers, they are doctors, they behave like drivers. I know very well my small boy who would come and behave like he's a bus conductor or a chotro mate to come and say Madina. This is what the child sees outside the environment, and so begins to do a lot of role play. What this tells us, therefore, is that we should be careful at this stage because the children are watching us. We should be careful with what we do and what we say. We should be careful with what the children watch on TV. Sabri, yenhwe yiye nya yeka bra mfra no ewo ho. Ayenhwe yiye nso nya ya mfra no ehwe. Isan se nya wo hwe ane nya wo ka ane nya wote no. Ano na mpempi no wota eda nadi. Se nya woro ye se nya won a wo hye won no ete no pepepe. Therefore, the caution is that let us act right. Because at this stage, when they see the right things, they hear the right things, they begin to act out the right things. Importantly, they have a lot of fantasies. They wish they were that, they wish they were this, they will see that, they will see this, and their mind go into lots of places between the ages of 2 to 7 in their pre-operational stage. Children have lots of fantasies around the stage of their lives. One interesting thing that we see in children is that they become egocentric. They were egocentric in the sensory motor stage, and they are still egocentric in this stage. But at this stage, because they have acquired language, they are very, very interesting in their egocentrism. Naya emofraya ne say, what are so efundiase no ene niema senia won what ya sefa. Nti wonti niema senia obeka kire won anampo senia obi ebeka kire e won afa. Senia wo hu niema no saa ena wo hu niema. Now let me give you this example. One day I was not in the house and I called my 2.5-year-old son on the phone. And so whilst we were speaking, I asked him, "Aye, how are you?" "I'm fine." "What do you learn at school?" Then he said something. Then he told me, "Papa, I want water." This is a boy that I was hundreds of kilometers away from. This is a boy who was not seeing me. But because the boy could hear my voice, I assumed that once he could hear my voice, I was around to get him water. Then I told him, "Oh, tell mommy, mommy will give you water." That is what we mean by children being egocentric. They don't care if they are watching TV and they are standing in front of you and they are blocked the view. They don't understand why you say they are blocked your view. So you tell them, "Hey, go away," and they don't understand. Once they can see the screen and what is on the TV, you should also see it. Mofra, what is abria won hu ye nika, nanso wo ho so eya hotel. Senya ohun wiase no saa net. Ni ti se we fiase. Ekasa no, o kan nema bebreche na o nti wase. Se ohun ade bi senya ti a saa na wo se wiase obi ehun nipa. Everyone should see the world from his or her perspective alone. So you may tell him or her that, "Oh, stop doing this," and convince him as much as you want to. As soon as you turn round, you come and say, "Please, I want this." You tell Opedrianieji, "Oh, please, wait, okay, I'm putting food on fire. In a short while it will be ready, okay? Sit down quietly." Okay, what you see? Me, I'm hungry. I am hungry. But I know what I mean. Okay, are you not the one that I convinced? No. When they are hungry, you must understand that nothing else would suit them apart apart from providing them what they want. Therefore, at this stage, Sabie was said in our abattoir, we must be very, very patient with them and guide them at this stage. Now, another thing, we see a girl there smiling with a huge question mark above her. Yehu afra abaya bia orisiro nanso asemisan sentrene kese ana ewo netifi. At this stage in life, children become more curious. Now, let me say this. In the sensory motor stage, children are still curious. That's between the ages of 0 to 2, they are curious. But the curiosity becomes even more when they acquire language and explore the environment more. And so they ask a lot of questions around age 4. Obra mufra edi beye se infi anan ho ebe bisam. Obi sansem papa. As a when nya won ho abotre a obetia won atia won na aha won. Bibia wo behu bia wo bebisa. Say owo ho a question, owo ho answer. Win who answer. Whether you can answer them or not, they will ask you. Now I remember 2 very interesting things. A friend asked on her WhatsApp status that their 4-year-old daughter, the daughter was around 5, was asking her why there was A in the word road. If you're spelling road, it is R-O-A-D. Now, in the mind of the child, A is pronounced A or A. So, what was the A doing there in the road? Why is it there? Now, so when you linguistics in Kweji, as I will be so as in your Ober brands and way. I read your tiasi, all your tiasi, Dino tiasi. Now, anyone if you want a day. Now, what I'm saying is that a child was asking the mother why road is spelled R-O-A-D and what the A was doing there. Now, how do you answer this question if you haven't done some linguistics before? I remember also, my mom tells me that when I was a child, I asked my father, and I think I quite remember, I asked my father around this age, why is it that all vehicles have their exhaust pipes beneath them? So you have the saloon cars, the urban buses, the SUVs, their exhaust pipes are beneath the cars. But if you take the tractor, the exhaust pipe is up there. Even at this age, I still don't understand why. It is a bring mufra ebi bisan senki. Nia wobehu nia wobete. Children ask a lot of questions at this stage. They become very, very curious. Inti awofo achechefo people wa mje bi say nya yeriken enye foforo ma wo. Nanso se wo be fie no bi say ya aya mesre e besre. Yensusu entienti awo. Yensusu enye won hey. Bisan say ya wadunu eka won adwen ninya every ni. In this part of their pre-operational stage, it is okay for them to be curious and for them to ask many questions. Now, children also at this stage, as you can see on the screen there, are able to use words and pictures to represent objects. They do a lot of symbolism at this stage. Sabiei amufra unse. They know that there are words and there are pictures that represent things. And so, anyone say, abufra no ebe draw obi. Okra another abufra. So they'll draw a picture with someone holding a child, and they know that this is mommy. They'll draw a picture with someone holding a bag or someone working and say that this is daddy. And probably they will draw a child like themselves, but they will draw themselves very big. Now, it is not the literal representation that they are after, but they are after the functions of those people. So we need to understand children at this stage, that they begin to use words and pictures to represent objects and ideas. And as we said earlier, their fantasies are very, very wild. Bramofra, any episode, obefiase, ede, insimfwa, any infoni, ejina ho, ama, enyema ebinu. Jina yesre awofo, se yen shemfuni a, amofa no tai hwe yiye. If you say nia wohunu, eya, eka won adwin na etumi hawo. Enu nti se ntokwa pii ewo fie a enya nsusansu bi ewa abofra no so. Se ye kan nsem a ehon nti a amofra no sua awohu se a saa asem yi se obi kan na se na oka de akire. Nti eya na enye wonwa se bi abofra beka kasa ehon nti o. Bra abofra no ni buafu na obeka se anosua wo hin. Abofra no sua se wo bufu a saka sei na wo ka kire se wo bu afu. And so they learn that we use certain words when we are angry. And so when we are angry and our children are around, because at this stage they are learning a lot to use words to represent ideas and objects, we should be careful the kinds of words we use. This is very fascinating. I believe you'll agree with me. And so please stick and stay around. We'll be right back after this break.
Maba. Say the munya munimi no. E do nam dia ba. Chanka. Edro ni nie. Onumu a ebo nipadua no manya ahoɔdene. Na ebo nipadua no nso e makutie nyarewa aworo bebre. Na moya jadifo mo bre. Mo kɔ na mo ba. Ye beye na mbanya ahoɔdene na da bia mbati ni abadwam no. E ye chanka. Etimi be chemu bi ni mo anonom. Motiana. Mawura no so ba ko mana wura. Madam modi ni.
Chanka.
Awura ba gibi. Obi o hiem bia ma gibi. Chanka. Awura wo ba gibi. Mutaba.
Chanka. Ebwa wo nipadua na mane kutia nyarewa. Taifofa 202. Kutia malaria. Defaton 202. Ebema wadi diye. FDE arisho ejade nkrato imagye atumu se eye.
Thank you very much, wonderful viewers. Thank you very much for being here on Everyday Psychology here on Truth TV. On Everyday Psychology, we seek to understand why we do the things we do and live better life. Everyday Psychology, and say, "Ya beti ya wansi, nyenti aye neme bi aye na amaye bra aye." What we have looked at today, or we have been looking at today, is cognitive development according to Jean Piaget. According to Jean Piaget, there are 4 stages of cognitive development. We have the stage between 0 to 2 years, the sensory motor stage. We have pre-operational stage between 2 to 7 years, the concrete operational stage between 7 and 11 years, and the final stage called the formal operational stage from 12 years and beyond. The sensory motor stage and the pre-operational stage. We've learned that children begin to acquire language in the second stage, that is the pre-operational stage. They understand and engage in role play. They have lots of fantasies. They are egocentric as well. They ask lots of questions. And they use words and pictures to represent objects and ideas. In the sensory motor stage, we said that they use their senses a lot. They are aware of their environment around them, around 4 months old. They like to taste, they like to listen, they like to watch a lot. And so yenshe yemufani here bra wasabi nyama idi ebisisi wa mufra no nsanka na wonko no memfa or how bimbrero. So thank you very much for being a part of this program, for taking time out to watch, and we hope to be back again same time next week to continue with the 2 other stages of cognitive development according to Jean Piaget Yadamasi. Say when your brain no money the jail na mahwe na yesua ade nya ye kan na say na what say na say ba betoa ebien eka humo eso. But until then, stick and stay with us on Truth TV, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful day. My name is Alex Ejari.